Hello, Marky Dragon, also known as Marcus Eikenberry in real life, and this is my casual filming day. You can see I haven't put on my formal shirt today. I'm out here barbecuing, and it's mid-afternoon. I try not to film my stuff mid-afternoon because like 95 degrees and like 95% humidity, really hot. In fact, I went out on the bike earlier today and filmed some stuff and found that I was getting dizzy because I was overheated, so I got to be really careful about that. I had to stop and find some place to get some water and cool off for a little bit. But anyway, so pardon how casual I am today. But I can show off my tattoos. You know, I got this tattoo here, and then this one. You all recognize this one. They're both dragons. This one has a water influence. I searched for 2 or 3 years before I selected the right artist to do this. And he's a dragon breathing water right here. And when I put my arm up, the water comes up. It's kind of cool. Anyway, I like it. That's all that shows out under my sleeves whenever I'm wearing stuff. Anyway, let's get on to the meat of this video. So, I have a great question here from Grimkiller on YouTube. And he says he has a question, and this is a serious question, because he says a question about WTFast locked account. And so the issue is that when you use WTFast, and you've been using some other stuff, you've been logging in directly, and they use WTFast, and they lock your account. Any game companies, I know WoW does this. There's some other ones that do it. That any of them that lock you out and tell you to then verify. They may ask you a secret question, or they may ask additional information, or you may have to log into the website and say, yes, it's really me. They do this because it shows from a different IP and it's a bit different location, and it shows that it takes a different route. And this is part of how WTFast works and why it's so special, but at the same time, it does raise a red flag sometimes for the video game companies. And one of the things that WTFast does is they work with what video game companies are willing to talk to them and everything, and so they know about these things and don't flag you. Now, there's no harm done. Basically, it's a protection for you, and it's like when you make a credit card transaction and you've gone out of state, you're on vacation, and your credit card company calls you on your cell phone and says, hey, are you really making these charges in Vegas? And you say, yeah, I'm here having a great time. And they're like, oh, okay, just checking. And they move on. And that's exactly what's happening here. So don't worry about it. WTFast won't do anything to your game account to cause any sort of pain and suffering on your part, other than it sometimes trips this protection. And it won't hurt your account. You don't get a ding against your account. It's not going to get your account banned or nothing. It just gets you locked out. And I know I mentioned this in one other video, but it keeps coming up in questions, so I wanted to address it again. And but while we're talking about WTFast, why don't we give away some keys here? Why don't this time we give away 2? And so 2 of you who comment, we're going to give you WTFast keys. Make sure you accept our messages, because if you don't, then you're never going to know that you won, because we're going to have to pick somebody else. So, to accept our messages on YouTube, all you have to do is add us as a contact, add Marky Dragon. So, anyway, WTFast will reduce your lag because it takes a different route, just like what I was just saying. You know, I did a video a long time ago about WTFast, where I got on a whiteboard and I showed, here's all the hops, here's your 20 hops to get to the game server, and then WTFast made it in like 4 or 5 hops. And that's because they have some direct connections, and they route your traffic through so that it has less hops, which causes you less lag, which greatly improves your performance. So I compared it to Stargate, and it was Stargate Atlantis, to where they were able to go so far in just a couple of hops. And it was, basically, with WTFast, you're using the Choppa Eye. Stargate. So those of you who are fans of Stargate would know what the Choppa Eye is. So anyway, that is how it works. and it will launch your game for you. They have a new search tool. They've got all kinds of stuff they're doing, and they are going high tech. They're going big business. They're actually looking for investors right now, and I think they're closing on funding coming up soon. I don't have Tourette's, guys, honestly. I'm not just blowing because I like it. It's mosquitoes trying to land on me. So they are, they've got some investment money coming in, and it's going to greatly improve the visibility of the application. That's, you know, I haven't talked to them about what that money is going to mean for them, but I know for a company like them what it could mean. Better development, more tools for you, more features for you, and then more access to the game companies. Because when you bring investors in, you also bring in people who have access. These are the people who know that their money and their time can greatly improve the product. And so people believe in it so much that that they actually have investors coming in on it, and it's going more from, you know, it started out as a mom and pop type application, you know, software development, and they're moving into big business, which is really great because it's going to make it awesome for all of us. And in fact, it may even add some more features that we never even dreamed of or never even knew we needed. So I'm really looking forward to that. And we have an interview coming up sometime soon where I interview Rob, who's the founder of WTFast, and he tells us a little bit more about it. So keep your eyes peeled for that. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. And then also, if you're a subscriber, you can win stuff. You know, like the Frostmourne sword I've been showing in a lot of the videos. So when we hit 42,500 subscribers, we'll be drawing for that. And also, those of you who want to know how the drawings are working, it's every 2,500 subscribers, from 20,000 subscribers on up to 42,500. And so when we hit that point, then you know, we're going to be giving away the grand prize, which is the Frostmourne sword. But also, we are going to be drawing, for those of you who, you know, when we draw your name and we send you a message, we're giving you 30 days to reply. If you haven't replied in 30 days, we are drawing again. So it's possible that we could be drawing for multiple items at, you know, when we get to the end here, and continue on drawings after that if we have stuff left over. So then we may just start drawing every 30 days. And so make sure you accept messages from us, because if you don't, it's a problem. How can you win if you don't? You know, because then if you don't accept messages for these drawings, we are actually showing on camera who we choose. So if you don't accept messages, you're not going to know unless you watch the video. So, and the chances are that, you know, we have so many people who subscribe. I know that not all of you watch every video, because if you did, I'd have 20,000 views the next day on every video. So it's really only about 10% of you. So if you're watching them when we do these drawings, you'll, you know, you're going to have a much better chance of winning. Anyway, so that's it. Oh, and let me give you a bust and rush. So another one of the people who's commented, we're going to give you a bust and rush. There's a link in the description as well for that, so you can check out more about it. We're going to have some playthroughs on that. I'm loving the playthroughs. I've been doing Happy Wheels and having a grand old time. How many levels are there in Happy Wheels? I know it's user-generated content, so what, have we got thousands of them? My goodness, I just keep going and going and going. I filmed 4 more for you, and I hope you enjoy them. I don't know if I'm going to be spamming the channel with a whole bunch of playthroughs like that or not, or I don't know how that's going to work. I haven't figured that out yet. We'll see what your customer irritation level is. That comes from another video that I did prior, talking about customer irritation level in EA. Yeah, anyway, so I do pay attention to what you guys like, and when a whole bunch of you say, this sucks, don't do this anymore, I basically quit doing it, or I move it to another channel. Branch off. Anyway, I'm Marky Dragon, take care, and if you haven't subscribed, do subscribe, because you can win some fabulous prizes. See you, everybody.